here. Bonk. Sorry. Citra the man, the one who doesn't bow to anyone except when I play him, because I've managed to destroy my entire empire and die. But he can't perma-die, but when you can be killed and then you get put in your casket or like in your tomb and you will regenerate over time. Now I'm explaining the Tomb King's mechanic, but that happened to me. And then you think, oh, well, and it's actually happening right now. I'm currently incapacitated because someone killed me, assassinated me. So you can't die permanently as a Tomb King's dude. But while you are incapacitated like this, you cannot have armies. No military. And so as soon as that happens, my entire kingdom falls apart and I died. So you're not supposed to let your character die. I was like, I didn't care. I think I even employed a guy that really hated me as my spy master because I was like, it doesn't matter if he kills me. And that backfired. But anyway, Crusader Kings 2. Here we are. Look at this. Have you ever seen anything like it? And this is just like the tip of the iceberg, right? Down here in the corner is another really cool thing that Total War Warhammer kind of lacks. And this here is the Skaven Underworld. From here, you can travel to almost anywhere in the world. There are specific like holdouts around the world. Like I can, like for example, if you go to this zone here, it should say that it is connected to under Empire tunnels to something. Each of these corner locations out along the rim are connected to a territory somewhere in the old world so that the Skaven can move anywhere, but the other races cannot move into the Skaven underworld here. They can conquer this territory, but they can't build boats here and sail in. That's how they fix that mechanic, so that only the Skaven can move out from here, and then the other races, they can sit on one of the tunnels accesses and then lock that down and fortify it, but they can't like enter the Skaven underworld. Playing in the Skaven territory is really fun, but you might imagine that it's a short playthrough because you get assassinated pretty quickly, unless you're like the best anti-assassin character in the game, because everyone backstabs each other. You can gain power really quickly by backstabbing the other Skaven. It's just glorious. You can play any race in this game. One of my favorites is Orcs. Again, really hard to play Orcs because your underlings can all challenge you to single combat for your territory, and if they win, they are king, and you die. So you gotta be the strongest Orc, otherwise you can't be an Orc leader. Deathmaster, Snitch, name any character. We can find it and play it. I think they have all the named characters, at least a lot of them. This happens in a specific year here, Naggaroth 2010, which is the year in which Manfred von Carstein reveals himself as a vampire. He is currently the leader of Sylvania. He's here. And this is kind of the story of him revealing himself as a vampire, and then he summons a giant army of zombies, and he starts conquering the empire. So he begins with a massive amount of troop, and will usually conquer half of the empire, even as an AI. And he's immortal, of course. He's got all kinds of mechanics. You can cast magic spells and stuff. And so that's kind of the time zone that we are playing in, just to give you an idea. Grimgor Ironhide, the best, the bigs. Where does he live? Because I don't think he exists in this time. This is not like Total War Warhammer, where every legendary lord suddenly exists in the same time and space. Here they are very lore accurate, and I don't think Grimgor is around in this period. So he's not like currently Warboss of Grim, like a Black Crag, and there's no like unified orc faction either or anything. Can you search for a character? I don't know. View list of republics? No. Click on the map to select a character. If we can find out where he lives, we might be able to find him, but I've never seen Grimgor in the game. It's Red Eyes Mountain. I forget where that is, though. From the lore. Where is that, like, geographically on the map here? Red Eyes Mountain. Red Fang Horde. Kings, regions, cultures, governments. Orc. Religion is Gork and Mork. Bloody Sun. Blarg. What was Blarg? I have been looking for Grimgor before, and I really couldn't find him. It's kind of sad, because you'd think he's the biggest and the baddest. Warbler Skirk of Black Crack. Up from Carrick Cadrin. Okay, where's Carrick Cadrin? We can't see the cities here. It's like the name of the provinces that we're looking at. And again, I don't think we can search. Oh, what we could do is we can say play, start game, and then we can search for characters and try to find out where he lives. And then we could back out and go back and play him maybe. I have been debating playing another. I have a playthrough of it on my YouTube if you are interested. I'm debating doing another. But it's not Crusader Kings 3, which is kind of sad. Let's see here. Ledger, find title or region, find characters. Grimgor. Yeah, he doesn't exist. Search all. Oh. No way. Boss Grimgor of Screefel. But this is not him. Oh, he lives way up here. There's two different dwarves in the world called Grimgor. That's kind of interesting. Skarsnik. Good call. Of course, of course. Let's see if he's around. See, the problem is with orcs in the lore, I don't think they live very long, do they? So they're probably not present in this world. Nah, he's not here. Not him either. There's Manfred von Carstein. This is also before. This is before. What's his called? The name. The guy who is the emperor in Total War Warhammer. Franz. Karl Franz. Karl Franz doesn't exist yet. I think he isn't born yet in this time. Or maybe he already died. Something like that. There's the Red Duke. Let's see here. Karl Franz. Oh, there's several Karl Franzes. Okay, so Abbott, probably not him. Imperial General. Could be that he's just like a young dude or something. Karl Franz. Yeah, but he's lowborn. I'm not really into the lore of Warhammer Fantasy that much, so I don't actually know where Karl Franz came from, originated from. He probably wasn't Ulrican or Talite. He definitely would be a Sigmarite. So if anyone, it would be this guy. But he's an abbot. It's not him. Who else? There's what's his name? I know where he lives. Up here, Naggaroth, of course. Here, High King Malekith, the Witch King, lives up here. You can play him, of course. He usually dies really quickly when I play, because the Dark Elves, they assassinate each other a lot, and more than once I've noticed that he gets killed by his mother, Lady Morathi. Look up Greece, Gold Tooth. Grease God. Chieftain Grease God of Cloud Top. Not sure if that's the one. He seems like he's an ogre, but he doesn't seem like a special dude or anything. 41 years old, unmarried. You said Gold Tooth. That's an orc. Drag. Oh, they're from Clan or House Goldtooth. Look at that. Ah. So if we look at House Goldtooth, they have only these two living members, Crassus and Drag. Okay, so it would be one of them. If it is one of them. Who's the family head? This guy, Crassus. Okay, I'm not sure if it's him. Oh, and you talked about the Chaos Dwarves. They live here. They are in the mechanics. They have a lot of stuff that they can do with slaves, which is really cool, and they can make like special siege equipment and stuff. They've actually really done a lot to make the Chaos Dwarves a big part of the game. And they live here in Sarduk. That might be a fun playthrough. I've tried to play Chaos, but playing Chaos in this game is really hard. Like, you see here how the Chaos Wastes are just split among 100 tribes. So you gotta like assemble the tribes of Chaos. But you can do all kinds of cool stuff with getting marks of chaos, and I think you can. I have definitely summoned demons at some point, and it's kind of wonky, but you can do it, and use them as generals and stuff, and characters, special units that are demon types. It's mostly in getting like your character immortal is the first objective, because otherwise you die of old age, of course, and you can become the Everchosen, but that takes like maybe like a full playthrough, and then at the end of the playthrough you'll become like the Everchosen, and you can start conquering the old world. So, but this game's just awesome, man. There's the Red Duke living over here in the middle of Bretonia. And then, of course, I think we have, this is Louis, the Young of Bretonia. Is that the same one who's in Total War Warhammer? I forget what his name is. The guy that is the legendary lord in that. In the Wood Elves, we have some known characters. We have Ariel, High Queen Ariel, and High King Orion. And they have that mechanic where they're only present for some parts of the year. I've never played the Wood Elves, so I don't know a lot about it. Are they OP here to the Chaos Dwarves? I mean, they're strong. In Crusader Kings, playing any character that doesn't die of old age is by itself very powerful, because this whole game is about playing through generations, and you exchange your character for another. So that when you have an immortal character that can sit and just accumulate stats and build up your empire without ever fearing someone trying to steal your throne by anything other than force, you can't like be dethroned because you become a new heir and then there are other heirs who think they have the right to the throne, and then they declare wars on you because he's your brother or something like that. Doesn't happen when you're an immortal character, as long as you don't die like in combat, right? And then some of the characters can't even die in combat, like Manfred von Karstein has his ring. He has a treasury here with the Karstein ring, and you can steal the Karstein ring. That's like a major thing that goes on in the world. People are trying to steal the Karstein ring to make him not immortal and then kill him, because like I said, he does that whole thing where he conquers half of the empire. Kislev has Sarina Anya. Tsar Igor the Terrible. Luan Leanker, is that him? This is Louis. Okay, heir is Luke. Louis the Brave. We can look at his house here. House the Dame. It might be him. Louis the Young. I could imagine that this might be the one that becomes Luan Leanker if you play it right. Can you play as Nagash? No, I don't think Nagash is in the game. Oh. Oh, Arkan is here, of course. He lives next to Khemri. They're like rivals and conquer. It's kind of interesting. Something that I hadn't thought about, but it's really, really cool that I learned that as soon as I started playing as Cetra here, because I'd never really done the Tomb Kings. But the problem is, all of these characters, many of them Tomb Kings, they all have the right to this entire territory because they've all been kings of this territory at some point in their time. So, and they're all awakening now, and every one of these former kings want to be the king of the whole thing again. And of course, Cetra is the strongest one, but there's like 100 kings here who all think that they have the right to this entire territory. So the Tomb Kings have like a lot of infighting, and you gotta like put your foot down and become the one true king, which Cetra is, of course, the best one. Arkan the Black, I would assume, is also really powerful. He probably does some magic or something, right? Here's Araby. There's a lot of Araby stuff as well. Oh, and I gotta show you this. There is one territory over here. These are Amazons. Oh, we do it like sure kingdoms, governments. Is it pygmies? I think these are the halflings. Yeah, halflings. They're pygmies. But there's halflings in the game. Halflings in total. Warhammer. When, Skarsnik. Be'lakor. I think he would be a summon, if anything. You can summon demons, like I said. I don't think there's any demons in the world when we start here. You can't like play major demons at the beginning. They have to turn into demons. Or, like you can summon them in various ways. More powerful demons when you become a better sorcerer and stuff like that. Lakor. I doubt he's here. Yeah, that would have been cool though. Be'lakor. Nah. No. In Ulthuan, I had a quite long playthrough in Ulthuan, not as the main leader here, but his Prince Thuriel here was one of my longest playthroughs. Not something I did on the channel. The one I did in my YouTube series, I played this guy over here. Yes. Udix Regadeso. And I think I was not even him. I was like his underling or something, his vassal. Family member. No, this was him. Regadeso. And I ended up conquering most of this territory here throughout a playthrough. So just playing a boring old human, but my first, because you're a human, you switch characters because they die of old age. But my first character was a cultist for Tzeentch. You can do like secret stuff and try to convert people in your court to become Tzeentch worshippers, and then you can reveal your entire government as being Tzeentch worshippers, which will turn all your main religion, your government's religion, into that cult. And then, of course, everyone who isn't converted secretly will instantly hate you. But then you can do a purge and try to become a chaos cult in the middle of the empire here. I was just a secret Tzeentch worshipper. But some of my later characters, when I had built up a bit of money, I had enough money to start like researching magic, and I became a really powerful sorcerer with one of the characters at least. And that is awesome. I'm so in love with this game here. It has Albion. I don't know enough about Albion. It's a silly thing. You can actually turn that off. I usually turn it off. What else? There's Lizardmen. I played the Lizardmen a little bit, but it's really weird. It's something about you have to. You get like random events where a slan you have to make a choice based on what a slan said or thought or dreamt or something, and then if you make the wrong choice, you get punished. But you're just interpreting something. That's how the Lizardmen work. And you can't play a slan, as far as I recall. I don't think you can play one here. If we say the religious head for you, for example, can we see that here? For your religion, legacy of the ancients, old ones, high Gothic scripture. Where do we see that? Maybe not. Oh, you can play a Saurus. Oh, that might be cool. Instead of playing a little skink, you can play a Saurus. Gorrock. Oh, is this a named guy? Hierophant Gorrock, the Great White Lizard. He's in Total War Warhammer, isn't he? Master Mundi. All right, we can just search for one. Mas. Da Mundi. Yes, he is. He does exist, but he's incapacitated. Like he's not a part of the game. I'm sure that the Slan can be awakened somehow. And he's not the leader of the country. I don't think we could play the Slan if I wanted, but I could play the one who controls the territory in which Master Mundi sleeps, and then we can talk to him or interpret his dreams or whatever, and then weird shit might happen. What about the Vampire Coast? Oh, heck yes, we got Luther of the Vampire Coast here. What about this out here? Oh no, it's not him. I forget his name. But we have the Pirate Isles out here, and it's just some random dude owning it. Whatever. Yeah, okay. But that might be a fun playthrough, playing as the vampires. The pirate, the Vampire Coast. Here, he's got a blood dragon. Or is that his type of vampire? He is a blood dragon vampire. Aha. He's got Slan gold. Okay. Nice. Getting extra money and piety. Okay, so he's just like rich from the beginning. That's kind of cool. Ooh, what was I thinking of? The other vampire there is also a blood dragon vampire. Okay, and he's the Red Duke. So he's got a Red Duke thing, making him special. Yeah. Okay, but this guy over here did not have that Luthor. He's not like a special character in that way. But he's got not even that special stats. Huh. Captain Octolus, yes, exactly. Again, I don't know enough about him. He probably doesn't exist in this time period. What else could we look for? Oh no, there is an Ever-Chosen dude. That's right. He's not Ever-Chosen yet, I think. But he's like the leader. I forget what his deal is, but he's got like... He's the Coronate guy. He might not actually be like a special dude or anything. He's got nice stats though. So this would, if you wanted to go directly for becoming like an Ever-Chosen with your starting character, it would not be him, because he's 57. He would surely die before you can make him immortal. He doesn't have any immortality stuff yet. There's something here tracking the wind here. The wind of chaos are very weak at the moment. The ruinous powers are unlikely to grant you their blessing. No demonic invasions can occur. No black crusades can occur. Current events. No ever-chosen has been revealed. The world is not suffering any demonic invasions. Which, from this you can guess that these things can happen. Or like you can see here that there's mechanics in place for black crusades, demonic invasions, ever-chosen. And I've never really seen it be high, but when I was playing as a Chaos Cultist with that character, it told me that the things that I was doing would increase the winds of chaos and stuff like that, and help chaos like occur in the world and stuff like that. It might be fun to play like a full-on cultist run. Oh, you can play the dragon dude down here. This special, what are they called? They're Jade Vampires, that's right. They're vampires. The Celestial Empire. Oh, here we go. I didn't know they were in the game. The new faction in Total Warhammer that I forget the name of. If I wanted to see like governments, I think they don't actually have the real deal, because there's like an off-world dragon empire that you can talk to, which is like the ones that are in the new Total Warhammer expansion. Snake Man. It's a vampire. There's different types of vampires in Warhammer. I'm sure you know that. Cathay, exactly. And this is the Jade Vampires are one of them. Then there's we saw the Red Dragon Vampires. I'm aware of a few in here that are different. Let me see if I can find one here. These are a Necroc Vampire. And then there's another type, of course, which is Manfred von Carstein's type, which is a Carstein Vampire, where it's a caste of its own. There's like, I think those are the 4 types of vampire. I'm not sure if there are more. Can you turn an elf into a vampire in the Warhammer universe? That might be a cool thing, to bite an elf if you could get away with it. You can play Beastmen, of course. That I have never done. Not sure if that would make a lot of sense, playing the Beastmen. They seem very... like, they are the body bags, the meat sacks of this game. The one people beat up and steal territory from. But they're very aggressive, and they do worship various chaos gods, I suppose. Yeah, Warherd. I bet you they would be real hard to play. There's 6, okay, and no elf cannot be a vampire. Oh, okay, too bad. Yeah, I feel like I would have heard about it if it could happen. Is there anything else that we need to cover here? Now I want to make a playthrough with it. My favorite thing to do, at least when I play on my own, and I also did the way we got Ricadeso. You go into single player mode, use a new game, use a custom game setup, and then you can click this button down here that selects a random character anywhere on the map. So now we're playing as Count Reynaud of Landril Barrow. And it's kind of fun being just like a random dude instead of being one of the big powers at the beginning and then building up. No thank you. No thank you to what? You don't want to see a playthrough? You have to do it? Oh, okay. Big Kuln Erkin of the Beskond Turkanat. Of course, they've needed to invent some characters for this game because otherwise they couldn't fill out everyone. Here's another type of vampire. Countess Lamia. Oh, the Lamia vampires, of course. Yeah. They live here. Okay. What about the dwarves? There's Belagar. Let's see if we can find Belagar. Oh, he lives. Of course, because he's immortal. At least from old age. Is that him? Partition Belagar. He's an Ironbreaker. Belagar Iron Hammer. Maybe we just write Iron Hammer. Iron Hammer. Okay, they don't exist. Sad. Oh, we gotta search all. Iron Hammer. No. Any. Thorgrim. Thorgrim. There's several Thorgrims. It would be... He's in Caragasul, okay. It might be that he's just a kid at this point in time. Dwarf Warrior 82. Dwarves can get really old. I'm not sure if they can die of old age in this game. I don't think so, as far as I've seen. Thorgrim Kasadason. Udun. Dunakun of Caragasul. Living here. What about that Slayer guy? Thorgrim is really, really old. Okay, well, not sure why he isn't in the game. Kara Zakarak, High King Elric, Death Dealer. Oh, look at this. There's like a dwarven line here. Can we see more? Here. I wonder. Starts with High King Snorri. I wonder if one of these guys is Thorgrim Grudgebearer. He probably wouldn't be Thorgrim Grudgebearer, because I think Grudgebearer is like a given, no, not a given name, but like a nickname, right? And this one goes full lore accurate, so if he's like from a different dynasty, he would have a different last name, but he should be named Thorgrim. Thungri. Hagrim. Notri. Kendrak. Ulthur. Baden. Ultherson. Martinson. High King Elric. Ongrim Ironfist. That's right. I thought it would be it would be a really fun playthrough to just play dwarves and try to become a Slayer dwarf. I don't think you can do it as a leader because it's like a title reserved for warriors, you know, for the warrior caste. But you could roleplay it a bit and just be like trying to become a Slayer and die in honorable combat or something. Let that be the goal of the campaign, to die in combat with your main character, because you're not going to be dying of old age. So the idea that I had would be just to find a way to die in combat, of course. I become a Slayer that way. Ongrim Ironfist is not in the game. I think we've been through all the factions then. I've also never played Ogre Kings. They live up here, yes. Vermaloch of the Skulltigger Great Tribe. Personal combat skill 41 is actually not that high. I mean, it's pretty high, Most humans will have about 10, but I've seen characters with 200. Let's see. Malekith, Hiking Malekith has 185 personal combat skill. That's like the cream of the crop. It's hard to go higher than that. You have 160, Mr. Red Duke. A normal human, if we find just a random human, 16 by comparison. So, and it's like a dice roll, which I'm not really sure about the mechanics, but if you have 180, you can't lose to a 16 for sure. What about here? 139. Only 91 for Orion, but he's probably sleeping right now. King Cazador. Not even sure who that is. Cazador. There's some Cazadors. Cazador, Petty King of Karak Azul. Maybe that's the one you meant. From the House of Donarkun. Gotrek. Oh, I've heard of King Gotrek. Not sure if it's the one. Ragni Kasran. Thorgrim Casadoson. That might be him then. Casadorson. No, you said he was hella old, so then it's probably not some kid. There's also another Cazador, but it must be this one over here you meant. King Cazador. Combat skill 68, so he could beat that other ogre guy that we looked at. That's pretty good. He's a quarreler, huh? By trade. That's him, okay. 171 years old at this point in time. Not the same Gotrek, okay. I forget who Gotrek is. What would you like to see? If I was to do a playthrough of this game, Skaznik, what do you think I should play? Oh, I remember you, Eniko of Finterra. I remember you, Queen Uraka of Tigari. This was the big rival that I had in this area. I had to expand along the coast here until I could conquer Tigari. I remember I allied with Betonia against some of my other Estalian neighbors. That was fun. King Asterios. I assassinated the entire bloodline of Asterios in order to topple their kingdom. Good times, good times. Gunnison is a hero, that's right. As Skarsnik, but Skarsnik doesn't live here. We could play a random goblin, of course. Playing a goblin is really hard, because the point is to stay alive and, you know, live and rule. And goblins are hella weak. They will get, if you go into single combat. I remember I had a goblin playthrough, and I did the massive brain fart of vassalizing an orc tribe, which in itself sounds cool. Now I have orcs under me serving my goblin horde, yes. Until, you know, we are green screens and they are allowed to challenge their leader to personal combat in order to take the throne. And so some huge orc, like some huge massive orc. Orcs have different sizes based on their age. The longer an orc lives, the bigger they get. And there's no limit. As far as, I think a huge orc is the final tier. You won't grow beyond that. But like, it takes a long time to become a huge orc. Point being, some huge orc stepped up and squished my war boss and I died. So don't vassalize orcs if you're playing as goblins, unless you are like the strongest goblin leader ever who can then claim to command orcs. You can make them tributaries or something. Just don't vassalize them into your kingdom. Yeah. Personal combat skills 7. Or a war boss here. Ooh, 122 for this orc here. Look at that. How? He's got a giant axe. And a boar. He's got a mount. Nice. Bloodlines. Great works. Oh, he owns Black Crack. Ah. Giving special bonuses and stuff. Nice. Heavy infantry, plot power defense, siege defense, assassination chance up for him, higher chance of escaping capture after battle. Oh, that's really nice. Another thing is you can randomly die in battle, of course, because why wouldn't you? So that's really nice, being able to avoid that. Archers, siege defense, local tax modifier up by 10%. Nice, nice, nice. Crooked Moon. I bet you that Skarsnik founds Crooked Moon, so it might not exist without him. Oh, it totally does. Please tell me Skarsnik is in the list at least. No? Bugaxe, Kook, or Cock, and Warbass Aggro. Oh, what a name. To be named Aggro. And he's the war boss of Crooked Moon. Great Horde. Okay, that's kind of cool. Personal skill, combat skill 41. Okay, that was on the level of one of those ogres that we looked at. How are you? Because you have a special bloodline. Deceitful ancestry of Big Boss Grotback. Big Boss Grotback. So he was a special goblin who founded the Crooked Moon, probably. Yeah. Okay. And because of him, you get all kinds of bonuses then. Oh, Goblin Opinion is super important. That means that you're more likely to have, satisfied vassals who won't backstab you, which I imagine might be a problem for a Goblin boss, that you get stabbed in the back. Oh, that's super cool. Alright, he doesn't have any other special things, but whatever. How do you go to 41? Combat skill, though. That seems pretty crazy. Oh, because he's got magic. Oh, we can't see that because it's a secret thing, but he's got magic power. Aha. Deceitful ancestry. Oh, that helps him too, giving combat skill. Tough soldier. Oh, okay. We can't see all of his stats, I suppose. Aha. Not on this screen, anyway. He's got 20 intrigue, which is not bad. Tough soldier. Large goblin. He's a large goblin. Okay. I bet you can be a huge goblin. Look for Gorfang Godrod. Oh, yes, of course. Gorfang. Oh, he lives. Here's a named orc. Boss Gorfang Rotgod of... Ah, yeah, he's not even the liege of his territory. He's a vassal to Frangur of the Red Fang Horde. It must be him, though. Of Red Fang. So this would be before his rise to power to the orc that he is in Total War Warhammer, to the height of his power. So you could start him at a low level here. Oh, he starts at a personal combat skill 105 though. Hold on. So he's got an orc chopper. How do you go to 105? He's a huge orc. Okay, he starts as a huge orc. Fair enough. It's also kind of funny. They don't talk about it a whole lot, but of course orcs can't take wives and they can't produce children. But orcs just appear in your kingdom. They just show up. There's no explanation. They just appear. Oh, Ashak the Slaughterer. Of course, no matter what character I play, I will always try to learn magic. But Ashak might start with magic if he is here. Ashak. Nah. He is called what? Ashak the Slaughterer. Nah. He's not here. There's a Nashak living up there. And also the territory that he starts in, Ashak the Slaughterer. No, that's not him. He starts over here, that's right. In Total Warhammer, that's not where he's from, I think. The guy who owns these mountains here in Total Warhammer, he doesn't exist yet, I think. He takes this from the dwarves later and makes that his capital. I forgot what he's called. But whatever. He lives in these mountains here. But they're owned by the dwarves at the beginning of this game. Orcs are fungus, indeed. It's one of my favorite things about Warhammer, the fact that you can be so seriously into the lore and then you just gotta remember that orcs exist. And these are the silly... That alone makes this the silliest setting in all of our history. Except maybe it's... You can try to take it seriously, but it's not like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or something else that is made to be funny. It is a parody, though, this thing here. And yes, you can go so deep into it and try to take it seriously, I suppose. King Grim of Barak Var. Not something we know from Total War Warhammer either. Asman. Starts near Ungrim. But it's all fun. Oh, they moved Azak. Because he used to start right around here in that spider tribe or whatever. But they might have moved him. You can play as Vikings, of course. Oh, what about that? What's the name of that troll legendary lord? I wonder if you can play like a troll character. I don't think so. I know that as the orcs, the greenskins, we can recruit troll soldiers to our armies and as semi-siege units. But I don't think I have ever seen a troll character. Can I search troll? No. What if I search orc? Then that shows all the orcs. But if I search troll, there's nothing. So there's no named trolls. Sad. That would have been super cool. Probably hard to roleplay or make a character in this game that would work with being a troll, because we know of one troll, I think, a Throg, that is capable of thought. But I don't think they all are. Throg, he's not here. Didn't think so. What's this? This little island here. Night Lord Schneek of Clan Eshen. What else do we have here? We have Clan Scryer, Warpweaver Ikit, and Exalted Warlock Morskitar. Not someone I know either. What else do we have? Clan Pestilence, of course. Plague Lord Nurglich. Plague Monk Contagork. Okay. Plague Lord Nurglich. Pack Lord Verminkin of the Clan Molder. Clan Pestilence is here. Oh, we looked at him already. Clan Scryer, yeah. Ikit. Is Ikit one of the legendary lords? I forget. Ikit Claw or something like that. Might not be him. It's kind of the same problem with the orcs is that they die. They don't live long. So the chance that they are alive in 2010, a specific time period in this game, in this lore, that's just very unlikely. Lord Cratch Doomclaw of the Richter's High Clan. I mean, playing Skaven is fun. It's just very short. That's him. Okay. So you can play like a named Skaven here. It's got some special stuff here. Warlock Engineer armor and a Warlock pistol. Nice. Giving a bunch of, both prestige and combat skill, of course. So he's got 23. Yeah, of course, they're not special. He's a genius, though. That gives him +10. Okay, nice. Could be kind of fun to try another Skaven playthrough. Oh, a Strigoi vampire. So that would be the 6th vampire type. Okay. If we look at the best thing, I think, is religion. Let me find religion. Defensive packs, epidemics, dynasties, cultures, religions. That's the easiest way to see like what is governed by what. All of the green stuff is, of course, Gork and Mork. Hashut is the Chaos Dwarves. Nehekhara is actually not that big. I would have expected more. We've got the red as vampires. Horned red. Spider God would be kind of funny. Like, these are goblins that do not worship Gork and Mork, but the spider gods. Or the spider god, singular. No, plural. Great spiders. Okay. There are multiple spider gods, apparently. Huh. Or mastic for the Arabic states and stuff. Mad scientist. Then there's the old ones over here and some Amazon. Kukukali is the halflings. I had also promised myself that I would play halfling at some point. Combat skill 5. Like, surely this would be just doomed to disaster. But imagine conquering the entire world as a halflings. That would be kind of interesting. And then if we look at the Chaos Ways, that's where it gets really tricky. Because the Chaos Gods, I mean, I think you can have vassals that are from a different Chaos God, and it doesn't matter. And there's also Chaos Undivided. They kind of work together. They still hate each other, and they make war, so it's best to keep your territory clean in one type. But it's another one of those it's really hard to control and live in the Chaos Wastes. Your characters will get cursed and, demonic marks, and not all of them are positive. So it's like mutations. Oh yeah, the mutations. Yeah. And random people will get mutations and stuff in the Empire and in all the human factions. And then there's the witch hunter orders which will run around and try to burn people, and it's just a whole thing. The Castine bloodline, the blood of Lad. Characters tend to become ambitious. Oh, really? Oh, so they have a trait that they gain from their bloodline. Never seen that before. Warpstone cluster. Oh, he owns Warpstone at the beginning of the game. A large chunk of Warpstone, unrefined Warpstone, highly toxic to all living things. I bet you can make stuff with that then. So he's got a chunk, a cluster, and some shards. Huh. Very strange. The cast iron ring and blood drinker. 138 personal combat skill, not that high. Warsack. Oh, good call. Oh, please. He's not here. Nah. Oh, it's double R. No Warsack. But you could play a savage orc, like any savage orc, and just try to replicate it. I think you can even rename your character. So we could just pick a random savage orc that is like a young or whatever and unmarked, and we would try to make him live the legacy of Warsack the Great Prophet. That would be like the way. It's also more fun starting as a low-level character. Like, I personally don't think that it's super fun to start as like High King Malekith here, who owns like what, 1/10 of the world already, and you just gotta manage your territory. You don't really have a relationship with your vassals. You have 20 vassals that you have never seen before, and you gotta just dive in, and suddenly you have people backstabbing you, and you haven't even earned your name yet. It's much more fun to start with a one province dude who hasn't really gotten anything going for him, and then try to build a dynasty up and cover the whole map in your color, right? From humble beginnings. I gotta think about it a little bit, because I got other playthroughs coming, but I could pick like a goblin one. It might be a short one then. And then I could do a full playthrough with that. That would be kind of nice. I think I ended this campaign over here just because I had played it for like 60 episodes or something, or a long time anyway. Is the hobgoblin in the game? Very good question. I believe there are hobgoblins. Goblin. They would be under the Sorcerer's Enclave here. Right? Maybe not. Let me see if we find characters. Hobgoblin. Oh, there are hobgoblins. They live up here. Hobgoblin Carnade. Oh, interesting. I never really noticed this area before, but apparently this is where the hobgoblins live. Huh. Hobgob. What's special about you then? I've never known a whole lot about them. This character is Goblin. Goblins are smaller greenskins, but make up for their size with exceptional cunning. This is the same description as a normal Goblin, isn't it? There might be a new edition or something. Oh, this character is a hobgoblin. Oh, they're reversed. Okay. This one's a hobgoblin. The hobgoblin race is considered traitors by all of their green-skinned cousins, not because of their unbelievably treacherous nature, but by their treacherous betrayal of the greenskin uprising of Sar Nagrund. Hobgoblins are distinctive subspecies of steppe-dwelling goblins that are found only within the lands of to the far east in the rolling, untamed plains of eastern steppes. Interesting. I actually thought that they lived like next to the Chaos Dwarves, because they have a thing going, I think, in the lore. But apparently they live up here. Warlord Kengai of the Gublai Walk. Wow. Not a wog. Alright. But kind of funny that they switched the descriptions, because this is Hobgoblin, and it describes the goblins. That's a little book. Okay, enough. We can keep going. It used to be really hard to play this game, but it's on the Steam Workshop now. Easy, whoa, I can't yell war, probably. I'm ashamed of my war voice. Oh, we got another vampire type here. A Mossy vampire. Interesting. So that, I think, then I've found 7 vampire types. But the cast-iron vampire, I think, is not really a vampire type as such. They're just like, there's so many of them, I suppose, that they, in this game, has decided to give them their entire own thing here. And he's a human, technically. Of course, he's got like a few sons that we have heard of. Hans, Fritz, Conrad, Petar, and you guessed it, Manfred. This is Vlad. Oh yeah, this is Vlad von Cast. I think I called him Manfred earlier. This is Vlad von Carstein. My bad. Manfred is his son, who, if I recall correctly, he ends up killing Vlad, right? And I think that's also like in the cards that that's supposed to happen in this playthrough here, or in this world. But of course, once you start playing, everything can happen, because every character is controlled by an AI, except yours, and they do weird AI shit, as you might expect. Manfred the Dick. I could think of more nasty words, but not something I would love to say on stream necessarily. If we look at religions again, this whole thing is Kadai. Yeah, okay. Man, my playthrough was ethereal. It was so fun. Naggaroth will very often try to invade Kadai. That's not the name of it. What's the name of this area? Ulthuan. There's a lot of war, so you're not bored playing as the High Elves. They've got plenty of stuff to see to. Not too many. Oh, that's right. How did it go? I think I was the heir, yeah, and I became the king. But then when I tried, they have to walk through like a holy flame, which is how he got burned, right? He got burned by that flame that tests whether you are a worthy king or not. And that happened to me. No, that was my brother. Transfer siblings. Princess? I distinctly remember that I had a brother or someone who ended up becoming the king, but then when he went through that fire, he got burned by it, and so the whole empire toppled, and it split, completely shattered Ulthuan because our king failed that burning test, the test of the phoenix or something. Balthasar Gelt was mentioned. Guilt. Aw, he's not in the game. Bell. Is it not a set? Balthasar. He's not here. No, but this whole, and of course there's the Everqueen is present here. I will end it here. We could keep going. And I'm getting really hungry. So I hope you enjoyed it, Stasnik. This is an awesome game. I hope I can show you a playthrough at some point. Maybe this year would be nice. Something like that, right? But no promises. Got a lot of stuff going on. Thank you for sticking by me. I think we will just end it off here.